Hi, I'm Ellie. I had so much fun with that last video about respect and honor for men. I wanted to make a video on some, 1 through 10, how to respect your man. But I'm not going to count because I'm not good at remembering what number I'm on. Okay. So one of the ways that we can, 1 through 10, respect our man is to leave space for him. So when we're interacting with our partner, especially when we're in public, like super magnified if we're in public. Everything's magnified in public because other people are witnessing. And if you are accidentally emasculating your partner or just making him look weak in any way, even if he's not, that this is what other people are seeing, it's a real dishonoring, real disrespect. And this is the thing, when we disrespect or dishonor our man, we're hurting him and we're hurting our relationship. So I don't want to do that. So is leaving a space for him, for you to be feeling him, hearing him, seeing him, and letting him, lead, actually. So that's what I wanted to say, really. It's really about leaving space to let him lead, not always jumping in and taking control. And we do this often as women. We control out of fear. So we're not feeling safe and we're trying to control. We're not also, a lot of times we're not even aware that we are really just being controlling, and we are taking the lead and we are directing and we are in our masculine energy. A lot of times we just don't even realize that we're doing this. So as embodiment practice in relationship, one of the things that we do is we start to feel into our body and work with the energy in our body and become aware of whether we're in a masculine or a feminine energy, what energy are we embodying and therefore bringing, maybe even spewing out. And so it's opening to let him lead. I was a waitress. I love being a waitress, actually. And a while ago I had this waitressing job, and I noticed this pattern with women. It was really, really common. And I could always tell when someone was new, on a new date or not. But the women were bossing and directing. They were taking care of the whole situation. And I get it. It's like children and food, and that's the women's domain. But we're adding in the public here too, by the way. So this is important if we really want to, 1 through 10, respect our man, is to remember that in public is really when we need to be really aware of whether we're being respectful or not. If we want to be the divine embodiment of respect for our man and, inspire him to bring all of his masculine gifts, to be safe for you, to cherish you, to, all the good stuff. So this is space to let him lead. And I think it's important that actually, I know it sucks. I'm not going to lie. There was this time where I was warring with the universe. I want to be the masculine. I want to be the king. I want to be the boss. But if you think about it, if you have one leader in the relationship, this just, by the way, everyone gets so crazy with this stuff, jumping to extremes. I'm not saying you have no say and you do whatever he says. I'm not saying that. But if you surrender as the feminine pole in this dynamic, and you're open, receptive, respect, and you're allowing him to lead, which is actually what you want, because the feminine wants to be contained. She is, the life force energy. That's how I think of the feminine. Just life, feeling, flow. And she needs to feel safe, and she wants to feel held by you, and she wants to feel direction, because the feminine, it's wild, and when you're in your feminine, it's it's everything all at once, and it's moving, and it's bananas. And that structure of the man's leadership, the structure of the man's groundedness, that he brings, his protection, his safety, this all is so good for you, for us. So when we are in a relationship and we decide, okay, there's one leader, because a lot of times you're going to have disagreements, and so we talk things out or whatever together, right, as a team. I'm not saying we're not a team, we're a team. But if there's one leader and you're allowing your man to be the leader, I allow my man to be the leader. Now, if a man is leading from his heart, then he is going to consider 100,000% what his woman needs. He's attuning to her. He's not going to be leading her. He's going to be leading her with love towards her highest good, the relationship's highest good. That's a man who is in strong leadership, who leads from his heart. this is great. This is the kind of man that you that you would be gifted, I'm going to say this, to surrender to and to allow his leadership. Now, this really helps. It helps because if there's going to be times where you're not going to agree, right? That happens all the time. And it's just if we can take, and it's not that important to us, if it's not hurting us, this is how I look at it. I will practice divine surrender in my relationships in many, many ways. And I love it and I'm passionate about it. But if it's hurting me, then I need to love me enough, right? I need to be here with self. And so I'm not going to do something like that. And in that particular case, if I was in an interaction with my man, for example, from soft, open, surrender, this feminine energy, softness and respect, I would explain to him, why I wasn't going to do whatever it was. But if it's not hurting us and we allow him to lead, we want our man to take action and to most of us, and if you don't, you don't, okay? But I do. I don't want to take care of everything. I don't want to, the masculine feeling things too, they're in life, like I really appreciate men for what they bring, because I'm very feminine and I know I bring different things. And so, so opening to allow him to lead if it's not hurting you, and not really being aware of how we're interacting with him in public. So the waitress thing, the men were bossing the women around. I mean, the women were bossing the men around, and I felt embarrassed for them. I know I just jumped back to like something I was talking about way a long time ago. Because I feel energy, so I could just feel the dynamic. I could feel the tightness on both the men and the women, this like just tightness, and the man, you could just feel how you could see and feel the energy of emasculation. And so any ways in which we do that, so we do that without realizing as women, if we are giving the man we're with a hard time about his purpose, whatever that is, whether that's working out and getting fit, or his job, or just growth, or climbing a mountain, whatever it is that his purpose is, when we are not supporting that with all of our being, we're supporting that, we're not making that difficult, we're not making him feel bad for that, we are supporting that. If we're not doing that, then we are emasculating the man. And so it's really good to just become aware of how these embodiment practices, these relationship practices, like feeling into our body and feeling what energy what kind of thoughts am I having? This is a great way to find out what energy you're embodying at first, to observe the thoughts. What kind of thoughts am I having? I can feel into my thoughts, I can feel into my body, and I can say like, oh, I have an attitude right now, for example. And then because it's so important to me, a deep core value is to respect my man. If I know that I am in the embodiment of attitude, sassy Miss Sassy, then I'm going to take accountability for that and responsibility for that. And I'm going to make pivots until I can pivot into a different energy state, or I'll go and take time for myself. But this is a beautiful way to bring so much depth and really intense good feelings into relationships, to learn all about embodiment practices and embodying your own energy and what energy you're bringing to your partner. So, all right, what time we have? 8:57. Okay. So, is there anything else? Respecting your man, honoring your man. I think it's just that feeling, like, goes back to like when I feel honor in my chest, when I feel honor, it's like, what is that? It's like a sacred bow. It's like, I see you. I choose you. I hear you. I care and want and desire for your highest good. So I'm listening now to see what that is. And I'm going to meet you there. I choose to meet you there. So it's just feeling these, starting to embody these feelings. Embodiment of honor. I bring honor to my partner. I witness the divine in him, the divine in me, and I honor that. I honor his highest good. I honor how he feels and thinks, and it's just beautiful. to really, these embodiment practices, they change your life, because when you start to embody an energy consciously, consistently, you start to attune to it, you start to align to it, you start to be more of that energy, you start to be that. So you start to be honor. Imagine feeling that more and more and more. You tap into that energy of honor for the partner, which is sacred and devotional and beautiful, and you feel that more and more. And what does it feel like in my chest? It feels like open hearted, graceful love, grounded love. Feels beautiful. Okay, so let me know what you guys want to talk about. I definitely would talk about this subject forever, so if you have any questions or want to hear anything else, let me know. And if you like this video, I would love it if you would click the like button, and I would love it if you would support me by subscribing, and I will definitely connect with you soon. Thank you.